The analogy that I would make is Elon basically did that equivalent. He was able to send a rocket into space, do all kinds of interesting, enormously productive, useful things for the world while in space, and then come back down and land on a boat in the middle of the ocean. The kind of technical sophistication that he has in his mind, that he's been able to apply across his companies, is second to none, quite honestly. So when we looked at Tesla, what we thought was a company at an inflection point that was as close to its version of an iPhone moment. And what I mean by that is a company that had been growing up, taking risks, and had finally found the mass market product that would unlock an enormous amount of product market fit. And that was the Model 3. And so far, what I would say is he's living up to what he has signed up for, which is to commercialize electrification, to commercialize an incredible user experience at a price point that has frankly cannibalized its competitors. And what you see in the results, in my opinion, is a company that is now maturing under all of that demand.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Wealth Investor. My name is Yuri, and today in this video we are going to take a look at Tesla and should we buy Tesla, should we hold it, should we sell it. Also we're going to take a look at Chamath, one of the largest bulls on Tesla besides Cathie Wood with ARK Invest that I reviewed in my last episode of Wealth Investor. So if you would like to check that out, go ahead and check it out. I'll link it in description. But today we are going to take a look who is Chamath. I'm not going to even try to pronounce his last name, but I think it's Chamath Palihapitiya. But today I want to discuss who is Chamath and his past prediction, his current prediction, was he right, and should we listen to this guy? And if you're new, my name is Yuri, and I like to grow high growth, long-term portfolio. My whole philosophy is that I want to build wealth first and then retire later with that wealth. So currently my goal is to generate $5 million in this portfolio. And as you can see so far, we are outperforming S&P 500 with our P&L, which is sitting about 40% for the whole year. And so far we have generated about $3,000 in our portfolio. And as you can see, I've been buying Tesla here, started at 448, and currently it's my largest holding. And I have the highest conviction when it comes to Tesla. So today is the perfect day to buy Tesla on the dip. So that's what I did this morning. I bought 2 shares Tesla pre-market at $7.85, and then it went down even more at $7.76. And really my goal is to accumulate as many shares as I can. And I really believe in Tesla. I really believe that it's going to be $3,000 per share by 2025. And I'm not planning to sell Tesla until it's at least like $3,000 a share. This is a high growth long-term portfolio. And as I said, my goal is to grow it to $5 million. So in order for me to do that, I would like to pick high growth companies that I have the highest conviction. Something that is going to revolutionize our world. Something that is going to make me huge returns. And I really don't build dividend portfolio. I think that after I generate 5 million in this portfolio, I would be able to just cash it out and put it in dividend portfolio. But for now, my goal is high growth. So that's why I am growing this long-term high growth portfolio. And the Tesla is one of the biggest holding in this portfolio. If we can look at the price right now, Tesla is sitting around 777, and this is the buy box from my last video. And I said that this is a good opportunity to buy Tesla. And today it dipped pretty nicely into my buy zone, which is, that's what I did this morning. I bought 2 shares of Tesla. And this is really my philosophy when it comes to this portfolio, as I want to buy these companies that I'm holding Well, so far I have the highest conviction in Tesla. I don't know really about all of these other ones. I hold Facebook, Apple, Microsoft just because they good companies with growth. I don't really think it's high growth for these so far, but Tesla is, of course, outperforming everyone's portfolio so far. So when it comes to this portfolio, I have few rules, and the main rule is that do not sell, do not panic sell, do not sell, do not sell. That's number one rule in this portfolio, and the second rule I have is to buy on red days, which I did today. And we're going to buy on red days because it's an opportunity to pick up our high conviction stock on a discount. And if we can pick up this stock on a discount and dollar average or whatever they say into the stock, then we might as well accumulate some nice returns. And as you can see, I have ups and downs in here, but mostly it's just going up. And right now is one of those dips where we're sitting at 2.6K, but at the highest, I have been at 3.5K for the Tesla alone. So today in this video, I would like to take a look at Chamath because he was right back then. And the video clip that you saw in the beginning was from April 2019. So if people were doubting Tesla back then, doubting all of the believers like Chamath, then it is a very important clip to show because Tesla is blowing up. And right now, more and more people is converting into Tesla believers and they think that it's the future. But the most important fact that Chamath is outlining here that Tesla is not really a car company. Tesla actually is much more than that.
Let me just ask you about Tesla because they had their earnings last night. They beat. The bears would say they beat because they sold these tax credits. And how long are these credits going to be a sustainable business model? What do you say? You bought into Tesla or bought into the debt a long time ago.
I think this is a really important example of a much bigger trend that's happening in the stock market, which is that retail investors now have access to so much information that it's almost on parity with people that work in traditional investment organizations. And what we've seen is that's happened is that the quality of that analysis and the ability to see around the corner is as good and in many cases better than traditional investment firms and the way they view the problem. So from day one, you have had this massive tension between the bulls and the bears on this company. And the bulls basically saw a long-term trend around electrification, and the bears tried to play with balance sheet mathematics. Of course, if I said, you can sell 90,000 cars, but then if you negative sell 100,000, you've not sold 10,000. And you would say, what does any of this mean? You can use any convoluted logic to try to be short this stock. And what you would have done is just lost an enormous amount of money. And so what we're going to see now is that the stock is going to become part of the S&P 500. It is the leading edge when it comes to electrification and decarbonization. And here's the thing, Andrew, what the bulls will get right and what the bears will ignore from here is that this is no longer about cars. That's the first wave of growth. And I think people are pricing in an evisceration of traditional autos and an enormous shift to EVs, of which Tesla will get the disproportionate share. So now what is the bet? If you ask me as an investor who loves that company, it was in page 4 or 5 of their quarterly earnings release where they talk about the energy business. And they said a couple of interesting things. The first is that it was profitable. And the second is that they're also producing software now that allows effectively anybody to become a distributed utility. Now think of that for a second. You are talking about one of the most predictable, reasonable businesses that have raised hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars of debt. And what Tesla is going to do with their battery packs and their software is all of a sudden allow each of us to be in the energy business as well. Again, people will get angry. They will not understand. They will try to push back, and they will be wrong. And what's going to happen is that this stock is now going to represent the totality around decarbonization and sustainability. So it was really great to own this thing around cars for the first 4 years. I did it. I made a lot of money. But now I underwrite this company as a bet towards decarbonization towards deregulated energy and towards the ability for all of us to become our little micro utilities.
And as Chamath is talking, the Tesla keeps going down. So far it's at 773, and I'm contemplating to buy more. So let's see if it's 5-minute chart. So that's where Tesla added 5-minute. Well, if we can see the lowest, it's been at 762, so I might wait until 762. But the whole point is that I want to buy Tesla on the red day, so where it's selling action. And really, Chamath is helping me to make this decision because as it's dumping, I think it's going to bounce around this area, and I think it's a good opportunity to buy Tesla. We'll see if it might get filled. 765.50, limit order, 1 Tesla share, place order. So we got that share waiting in a limit buy. So if it goes down here, I will pick up another share, which is pretty cool. And like I said, my goal is to accumulate as many shares as I can. And so far I have 11 shares at 538, so I can afford to average up. Anyhow, I absolutely agree with Chamath that Tesla is not a car company anymore, and people been laughing at Chamath since then, since beginning of his bullishness on Tesla. And this is what goes to show you, if you bet against Elon Musk, if you bet against growth and evolution pretty much, then you end up losing a lot of money. And my goal is to grow portfolio, not to lose money. So that's why I'm going to keep looking into people like Chamath and Cathie Wood to see what they are thinking, to see what their worldview is, and hopefully it aligns with my worldview and gives me even better conviction in my stock picks. So the interview we just saw was pre-split. So it was before Tesla split, and it was before Tesla joined S&P 500. So here's another interview where Chamath still explaining himself about Tesla.
Chamath, you mentioned rocket fuel, and it's a loaded question, but nonetheless, maybe the epitome of all of this is Tesla, which is up 700+% over the last year. I think you're still a shareholder, right? Have you sold any shares? What do you make of that in and of itself? 700% in a year? Elon Musk is now the richest person in the world as of today, passes Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, it's really incredible, actually. I mean, he's somebody I've known for a really long time. I've looked up to him for a long time. And here's what I would say, that he built a great car company, and somewhere along the way, about 5 or 6 years ago, what I thought he was building was an energy company, and that eventually people would realize that climate change actually mattered. And it's taken 5 or 6 years for everybody to realize the same thing, and he's being rewarded. The world's richest person should be somebody that's fixing and fighting climate change. I think the reality is that Tesla is a distributed energy business, right? They are figuring out how to harness energy, how to store it, and then how to use it in a way to allow humans to be productive. Cars are a manifestation, but solar panels are as well, power walls are as well. And I'm telling you right now, Scott, the big disruption that's coming is to power utilities. There are trillions of dollars of bonds, of capex, of value sitting inside the energy generation infrastructure of the world that is going to go upside down. And when that goes pear-shaped, Tesla will double and triple again. And I think, I tweeted this a while ago, that I thought the world's first trillionaire would be a person fighting climate change. It very well could be Elon, but if it's not him, it'll be somebody like him, but it'll be because of this. Delivering clean energy, allowing the world to be sustainable, is an incredibly important thing that will be rewarded by markets and individuals.
And you're just going to ride, you said 2 or 3 times higher than where it is now. You're just going to ride that wave?
Scott, I don't understand why people are so focused on selling things that work. let's just, I'll make up a number. Let's just say I owned $1 billion of Tesla stock. If I sold it, now I have $1 billion problem. What do I do with that money? What about if it was 100 million? What about if it was just 10,000? 10 billion? It doesn't matter what the number is. The point is that when things are working, you're paid to stay with people that know what they're doing. And this is a guy who has consistently been one of the most important entrepreneurs in the world. And so why bet against him? It's the same thing with Bezos. Why bet against him? And there are a handful of other people. Anthony Noto, who we just talked to today, is yet another person. You get behind these people who have incredibly strong character, who know what they're doing, who aren't going to bend to short-term profits, and who are just going to drive the train for 10 or 20 years and make the world a better place. Get behind them. The best way to summarize this, by the way, is a friend of ours who we mentioned earlier, Bill Gurley, has this great phrase: when the music's on, you got to dance. And so these guys are dancing. They are in rhythm. They're in flow. Let them do their thing. Get behind them. Don't sell a share. Just let them create value.
Absolutely. You heard the man. Do not sell Tesla. And every time my philosophy has been follow the smart money. These people know what they're doing, these billionaires that actually believe in the future of electric, climate change, and all this exciting stuff going to Mars. People like Elon, people like Chamath, Cathie Wood, they see the change. And they really help me to see the change and help me to have a higher conviction in my picks. So, as right now, I'm patiently waiting for Tesla to dip to this level. But unfortunately, it looks like it's gonna be a double bottom. We'll see. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this video answered your question, or should you buy Tesla, should you sell Tesla, or hopefully it gives you an idea what should you do when it comes to Tesla. And if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button and make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss my future episodes. And also, I'm not a financial advisor. If you haven't noticed, I don't have any credentials. I'm just a random dude on internet who doesn't even show his face. Maybe I will at 1 million subscribers. But before then, like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next episode.